Welcome to the WDW Fan Zone Show. I am Stuart Sternberg, and tonight I'm joined by Darlene Nagy, John Maloney, and Lottie Ferguson. And tonight we're going to discuss attractions that we think need to be tweaked, reimagined, refurbished, like immediately at Walt Disney World. Nothing that can wait. And this, whether it's a ride or a show, but things that we think are overdue for a little TLC. But before we get into that, let's get into your next vacation to Walt Disney World. And who better to go with than the great folks at MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Whether it's Walt Disney World, Disneyland, an Adventure by Disney, or my favorite next to Disney World, a Disney Cruise. Nobody does it better than Mouse Fan Travel. The best travel planners, the most experienced travel planners, the most knowledgeable travel planners you'll find anywhere. Even if you don't want to take a Walt Disney World vacation, they are experts in anything and everything when it comes to the travel industry. They've got great deals going on right now, and you can find out about all their great packages that they have to offer by going to www.mousefantravel.com. That's www.mousefantravel.com. And please let them know the zone sent you. All right. John, I know you always come up with something really interesting, so let's pick apart. Let's go in alphabetical order. We'll start with Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom.
So what in Animal Kingdom do you think needs to be reimagined, refurbished, redone, rethemed? That's more. It's really retheming. It's like changing from what it is to something new.
Yeah, Animal Kingdom was actually my more difficult park. I mean, it's certainly the newest. It's not super new anymore, but the newest of the parks. But with having Pandora, that's new, and and you've got some of the other things that have been updated lately, like the Nemo show, Legend of Lion King has been refurbished recently. I'm not in any mood to change the theming for Expedition Everest at this point in time. The one that stuck out to me, or there's two that stuck out to me, but the first one that stuck out to me is kind of problematic, and that's Dinosaur. And the reason I say it's problematic is we said we're only looking to retheme an attraction, not retheme a land. So it's kind of hard to retheme Dinosaur if the land stays as it is currently themed, if Dino Land stays as Dino Land. So I'm not quite sure what you could do to retheme it in that respect. Lost you, Stuart. You're on mute, I think.
I am on mute. So. I sound better that way when I'm on mute. So I think what you could do there is put it back to its original version. But the reason they changed it to what it is now is because a lot of people and many kids were scared when the dinosaur stuck its head into your vehicle.
Right, I agree. So that's tweaking it. That's not retheming it.
True. I would change the whole pre-show, like completely gut that and do something different. Bring it more up to date.
Right. I mean, I'm all for changing it. I just struggle with retheming. So I have no problem with changing the pre-show, bringing it up to date.
Yeah.
Maybe I do like the dichotomy of the entrance area looking like a museum, and then you get into a little bit of comedy. Let's get past that old stuff and let's get exciting and go out and pop in a time machine and look for a dinosaur. But
yeah.
And I like the aesthetics of the beginning part, but I think the video itself certainly could be up.
Yeah, it's like, how old was Felicia Rashad in that video? Yeah, I think a lot of years have passed by. I don't mind them using Felicia Rashad again, but let's bring it more current. All right, Darlene.
Well, that was the one I was going to do too. So,
admittedly, Animal Kingdom is the most difficult of the parks, I think.
Yeah. I mean, trying to
If you have
think.
nothing else, it's okay.
No, I mean, the only other thing would be maybe Kelly River Rapids, maybe
Mhm.
add some more stuff to it, make it more it's been a while since I've
More
been
interesting?
yeah, more
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, yeah, you're going over rapids and stuff, but, like, put stuff in there, more stuff, like, make it, more animal themed or something.
I did have this is kind of a weird twist idea for that,
Okay.
and I'm not sure what I think about it yet, but something I thought you could do to bring some IP into that, if Disney wanted to bring some IP into it,
Mhm.
would be since it's in Asia, make it Mulan themed.
Oh, that's a good one. There we go,
Well,
yes.
maybe you could have dragons. You certainly would
Fire
need
breathing
to.
dragon.
Pardon me.
Fire breathing dragons.
Yeah.
Mhm.
At a safe distance.
Yes, as I was just gonna say.
Well, and certainly there is fire. Is there still fire somewhere in there?
I think there is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's been a while
So,
since I've been on that.
but something to make it a little more and make it more interesting and make it more interesting to younger people,
Right.
to some of the kids.
Mhm.
So if you had some IP in there, and if it was, a little on the lighter side, you might be able to draw them in there. Maybe you have to adjust things so that people don't get super wet, but
I think they have done that.
right.
I
Okay.
believe they have done that.
Yeah, but I like John's idea of Mulan.
Yeah,
Theme.
that's good, I agree. Thank you.
All right, Lottie.
Those were the two on my list.
Yeah.
Cali River Rapids and Dino Land. Actually, we didn't say lands, but I
Mhm. I know.
want to redo the whole thing. What's the Chester and Hester's? What is that? Um,
Dinorama.
yeah,
Dinorama, yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I wish they would like blow it up and start over there, but well, that's another show for another day. I have one
Oh,
that we didn't discuss where Kite Tails originally was, that whole arena there. I would make that into you want to make a connection because Nemo's right there. And if you haven't seen the new Nemo show, it is awesome. You've got to see it. I would make that a dolphin show or some kind of sea, fish, mammal kind of show that maybe would run 5-10 minutes, and it's a crowd eater. And if you run it, a handful of times during the day, it's great. And then you've got Nemo right across the way, and Dino Land is right there too. That was my thought.
that's a different idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. If we're going in alphabetical order, that would mean Disney's Hollywood Studios is next. John.
Oh, we're starting with me again.
Yeah. Or would you rather not?
No, I just don't. Well, you know what? I'm going to defer to Darlene since I stole her thunder last time.
Okay.
If she was prepared to go.
All right.
Okay, so my thought for that one is that I think they need to do something with is don't kill the messenger, but I really think they should do something with the queue for a Rock and Roll Roller Coaster. I feel like there's not enough new stuff in there. I think it does need to be a little bit more revamped.
Well, there's been rumors for years,
I
and
know.
we cannot corroborate any of these rumors
Yeah.
that Rock and Roller Coaster is going to go away. And when not the attraction itself, but the theming of it in terms of Aerosmith, that they might do something else. It hasn't happened yet. And if it hasn't happened yet, and these rumors have been around for years, it probably won't happen until they feel the ride is too old or nobody likes it anymore. But yeah, you know what? I was on that once, got sick, never went on again, so I don't remember the queue all that well. What about the ride itself? We lost Lottie. Guess she'll be right back.
Why?
So, Darlene, what do you think they can do with the ride?
Well, I just think that they need to like update the viewing area where, you're while you're walking through the queue and stuff, putting new stuff in there. I know they upgraded it a little bit with like signage, picking off, and putting other like guest names up on the board and stuff. Um, and then you go into the one room. I think there could be like more stuff going on, you know.
Okay.
I have a suggestion, another one that's a little bit off the wall. And as much as I like Aerosmith's music and I like Rock and Roller Coaster, but to change it around quite a bit, so to really retheme it and take it away from it being, a rock and roller coaster, not just going to another band, but giving it a Baymax theme. And so on the track, you're actually, sorry, Big Hero 6, and you're on the track flying on Baymax around San Francisco.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
So it could brighten it up maybe a little bit. You get some color in there, and there certainly is music. There is theme music to Big
Right.
Hero 6.
There
You can
is.
bring the characters in. So, and I think people like Big Hero 6. Even though it's only a one film franchise, they've got the Baymax shorts that are on now.
Mhm.
They seem to
They
be
do.
going over well. So I think it could bring some energy to it.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. The fact that Rock and Roller Coaster has been there for years, it's just I think it's time for a change there too, and I think that would be a perfect solution for that attraction. I don't know if they could do it immediately. They might have to wait until, and I think it does need it immediately, but I think they might have to wait until maybe they've got more things open within the park.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of capital. And to your point, you don't want to take a big attraction down
Ooh.
without having other new attractions to take up the guest traffic.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I guess Lottie didn't come back. She's probably having difficulty with her connection.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, she didn't text me, so I'm sure she's trying to come back to the show. John, was that your idea too, or did you have another?
Well, that was one of the ones that I had. You mentioned one earlier.
I did.
So why don't you talk about the one that you mentioned?
Well, Little Mermaid, which has been closed since the pandemic started, it still remains closed, which kind of tells you Disney isn't exactly rushing to reopen it, which may mean that they're thinking to retheme it somehow or do something there. I would still keep it a Little Mermaid attraction, but I think I would make it a more of a live action show, very different from what it was before. Like do something along the line of the Nemo show, but with a Little Mermaid.
Well, and that attraction did not cost them a lot of money to put in there.
No.
That thing was rushed in fairly quickly, and I mean, it had a lot of staying power, certainly.
Yeah, I was right. Lottie's having router problems. She's rebooting now. So hopefully she'll get back to the show and she'll rejoin us. Yeah. You could tell that was not an expensive show to put in there. Now, I know we're not talking about this tonight, but Darlene, has mentioned this more than once about that whole entire area just doing something else there because it really doesn't get a lot of traffic other than the one preschooler attraction that's over in that area.
It was a mishmash of character meet and greets, and Star Wars was over there with the meet and greet and the memorabilia and that in the back, and then you had the kids section, like you said, with Doc McStuffins and that. So I think the whole thing needs to be rethemed to like one area, like one
and they've got
ride.
the space there.
Right.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
know that's not what the show's about tonight, but that's you're right on point with that.
And if they could extend the walkway somehow to come out past Lightning McQueen, so that you don't go into that courtyard and get trapped,
Hmm.
Right.
and then have to come back out the way you went in.
Yep.
Right.
It's improved guest traffic overall if they could have you be able to continue out from the back of the courtyard and around past Lightning McQueen, and then you know,
Yeah. And you know what?
Mhm.
I'm sure they've thought of this. They're probably just don't want to invest the funds at this
right.
time to do
Right.
anything there. Um, but it is a big piece of real estate. And speaking of real estate, Darlene,
Yes. If you're looking to move down to Florida to be with Stuart and I and all of our other Disney friends, you should contact Victor Niraki, who can put you in a beautiful new build, a resale, or a retirement home, vacation home. Just look him up at your disneyatyourdoorstep.com, and he will definitely help you find a new home or a vacation home. You could do 2-3 months in the wintertime even. He'll help you do that. He has places all around the Disney area.
yep, yep, he's one of the best, if not the best. All right. Any other thoughts on Hollywood Studios of anything you'd change there that needs like changing like yesterday? Yeah, John.
The other one that I had noted, and we've discussed this before, is the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular.
Yep. That's
It's
exactly where I was going.
and we've said it's tough to bring it down because it swallows a lot of people. And to your point, if you don't have other new attractions for people to go on, and there are new attractions in Hollywood Studios now. You've got a whole new Toy Story Land. You've got Galaxy's Edge. So you have introduced some new attractions, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, but you've also increased the popularity of the park. So that's the
Yep.
challenge. But and I actually do have an idea. When we've talked about this before, I don't know that I had an idea for a substitute, and this one's a little different too, but I think it could fit if Disney came up with a way to pull it off, and that would be The Incredibles.
Hmm.
So if you had a way to represent the characters, as live action characters, and I mean, I don't know what you'd do with Mrs. Incredible as Elastigirl, you know, but maybe they could come up with some interesting effects to make that work. And they've got some interesting music. That's another high energy kind of thing. You've got the, kind of the, I don't want to say that, well, the superhero spy genre thing all mixed together going. So it's good action, which I think would fit well with that theater having been Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular.
I had an idea for that
Oh,
section
okay.
too.
Go ahead.
What attraction is right next door to it? Isn't it Star Tours?
Yeah.
Why not, instead of making it Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, Star Wars Stunt
Okay.
Spectacular? So, you'd have to change the sets and everything, but I think that would play off wonderfully with Star Tours and then Star Wars Land.
Right. That almost connects over to Galaxy's Edge with Muppets
Yeah.
in space in the middle.
And you know what? Do I think it's too much Star Wars? No. I think it would be great.
Well, if you had, the Mandalorian and
Oh,
Grogu
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
right.
there you
Boba
or
go.
you
Yeah.
Boba
have,
Boba Fett.
yeah,
hmm
yeah,
There's a lot they
That
could choose
that
from.
would be very good because, like you said, that would blend right into that area, especially since it's not known as a studio anymore.
Hmm.
You know,
Yep.
um, I'm sure all the characters and actors are probably like throwing stones at the screen right now.
Yeah, they could use the same
Actors,
actors
yeah,
and cast. Yeah.
they are stunts. Let me tell
Yep.
you. Yeah. What else do you guys think could be done there?
Uh, Well, how about Sound Dangerous is still there? It's just closed. That's another one that they could do something with. Generally I don't give it much thought because I just go right past it. But
Right.
what they could do there, I think they can come up with some kind of interactive attraction or audience participation attraction there, so they don't have to do much retheming of it other than to change what's going on there. But I haven't really given it, like I said, much thought as to what I'd put in there in terms
Right.
of ideas.
Ms. Marvel.
There is Marvel. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Oh no, I said Ms. Marvel.
Oh,
Miss Marvel.
The
I'm
reason
not a fan of Ms. Marvel.
well,
Sorry.
I actually like Ms. Marvel, and I
How
wasn't
about
sure.
WandaVision?
Well, but you know what? Any of a number of the Marvel limited series, uh, I think could lend itself to an audience participation show.
Yes, they could.
You know what would be cool there? I don't know that Disney would do this. I forgot the name of the attraction that was there where they pulled people from the audience to be in the show.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Oh God,
Star
they had a
Television.
Lucy scene.
Superstar Television.
That's it. Why not do that WandaVision television, and you actually have different scenes over different times for WandaVision, and
There we
put
go.
people from the audience in there? Like I
That
said,
would
I
be
don't
fun.
know that Disney would do that, but that would be
Hmm.
fun for the guests that attend that or get into that attraction.
Yeah, yeah. They had that when, to Darlene's point earlier, when Disney Hollywood Studios or Disney MGM Studios at the time was a
Right.
Mhm.
Acting
studio
studio.
park.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we know it's far removed from that, but
Right.
Yeah.
we could still bring back a couple of elements of
Sure.
it.
Sure.
I still miss walking through and watching the artists drawing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. That was
Hmm.
wonderful. Yeah, I hated to see that go, but
Yeah.
times change.
Should say Imagineers, not artists. They were
Yeah.
artists, but they were Imagineers.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other thoughts of what could be changed there? Yeah, I can't come up with any
Mm-mm.
offhand.
I think
Um,
that's it for
Oh,
Hollywood.
actually, I do have one. Beauty and the Beast, which has been there forever.
I
oh yeah.
I
Yeah. We
think
talked
they
about
are retheming that.
Well, they just changed. I don't want to say they changed the costumes. They didn't do that, but they got rid of the social distancing from the characters.
Hmm.
They're brought back the show that we've known and loved over the years. But I think it's gotten to be a little, I don't want to say stale.
Yeah.
Being down here, like for me and Darlene, we can go see it anytime. So unless you haven't seen it more than a couple of times, you might still love it. But for those of us repeat Disney fans who go often, they might want to put a different show there.
Yeah. Well, I think we may have talked about this before. I mean, there's an opportunity for something like Encanto.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. We have. Hmm.
Yep. Encanto would be great there. Any number of Marvel,
Yeah.
Oh
Avengers,
yeah.
if
Yep.
they can get away with using some of the characters,
And Rogers
if they
used.
could, Universal might have something to say about that. But you know what?
The newer series, those characters are not. Those are definitely the Marvel of this genre, not
Yeah,
the Marvel of the old.
they could do Guardians there, but we just got a new Guardians attraction, so I don't know that they would do
That's
that.
yeah, and that's at Epcot. So
You know what? They could take one of the shows or a similar show that they're doing on one of their cruise ships and put it in there.
Well, so long as it's not the characters that would break their licensing on the East Coast.
right.
Well, it could be Pixar, it could be Disney. It
Yeah.
doesn't have
Well,
to be
right.
Hmm.
Marvel.
Right.
True,
Exactly.
true. Yeah, on
Anyway,
Pixar. Yep.
Lottie, welcome back. I'm glad you were able to rejoin us. Any thoughts on what you would change, retheme at Hollywood Studios?
Voyage of the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, we mentioned that, but what are your thoughts on Little Mermaid? Like, how would you do that?
It was dated before it closed, so I would love to see a newer IP in there, like maybe Coco or um, um, Encanto, something with music that everybody's enjoying right now.
Here's the thought. How about put Bambi in there, and at the end of the show with her mother getting killed? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We don't want to do that to the little kids. We'll traumatize them.
No, we gotta sing about not talking about Bruno. So I think
Yeah.
yeah.
I think there's ways they could do something like that. And you know what? D23 is coming up next month. So even though we're coming up with our ideas now, Disney may have already decided on some of these things that we're discussing. Maybe not exactly what we'd like to see, but
And if you think about some of the other things we talked about, wanting to change some of the other attractions or shows around, if you had something new, like Lottie says, such as Encanto in there, and that drew a lot of people, that would offset some of the loss you have from taking one of the other attractions down to do an upgrade.
Right, exactly. Yep. Yeah. Couldn't agree more. All right, let's go over to Epcot. Where do we begin in Epcot? Lottie, since you kind of got lost there for a couple of minutes, I'm glad you're back. Why don't you take this one and start us off? Just in case the system goes down.
So food is an attraction. So I wanted 9 Dragons. Let's just go through and wipe it clean and start over.
Okay, but we're not doing restaurants tonight, but I completely agree. Any attractions or shows there? Yeah, I would say 9 Dragons is the worst restaurant in all 4 parks at Disney World.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's overpriced, and the food is not even average. But anyway, we'll discuss that another time.
I don't know. I don't know. I consider food an attraction, so I thought 9 Dragons would slide tonight, but apparently not. So they're doing so much work at Epcot right now that you can't touch Soarin' because that's my favorite. And maybe Test Track.
Yeah.
The whole Tron theme that they have now is okay, but like we could do something else with that. I don't know what. I can't think of what it would be right now, but
so I like the original queue and the original theming of Test Track. I'm not a big fan of what they've changed it into. Now I don't know if they could do something that would kind of like go back but not be the same as what they originally did. It's a great attraction. I don't want to see it go.
Go back to the original Test Track, or go back
to the original Test Track. The original Test Track and the original queue.
Okay.
Oh no, we don't want to go all the way back to World of Motion. That's too far back.
No. Okay, I agree there. I love World of Motion though.
It's fun to be free.
Make it a car. How about a Cars attraction?
I had that same idea.
I thought about that, but like you can't outdo Radiator Springs.
No, you can't. But this is East Coast, not West Coast, so you could get away with it.
Well, yeah, I agree. You certainly can't outdo it. And so instead of recreating Radiator Springs Racers, have something different.
Yeah.
And indoor, so that's more of a darkness, filled space. So, a Cars attraction at night, it would not be Radiator Springs Racers, but you could still have the Cars characters in there, have a different story, a different environment. So, like,
And,
certainly there's some good scenes from Cars that happen at night.
yeah. And each car would be a different, you'd have a different voice, different sounds. It would be the character of the car. So you might hear it, like saying like, "Oh no, here comes the heat."
Get one of the tractor cows.
Yeah. Um, I have one, if you don't mind me jumping ahead here. Mission Space.
Hmm.
Now, I just saw Lightyear. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but I'd rather see them retheme it to Lightyear, or a Buzz Lightyear attraction. It's Mission Space, and you're not even leaving Earth. That's not Mission Space.
Mm.
That's Mission Catastrophe.
Yeah.
That's
And
for
I
the
think if
mild
they-
version.
And I think if they did a Buzz Lightyear, I know we've got a couple of Toy Story attractions. There are no Lightyear attraction or a Buzz Lightyear attraction in Magic Kingdom. But I think if they did something in Epcot like that, you'd bring more people into it.
Are they going to serve sandwiches with meat on the outside, right outside of the attraction?
Yeah, that's right. Meat on the outside and bread on the inside.
They'd have their own food and wine booth right outside.
Mhm.
Hmm.
All right. Anyone else? I think there's a few things. I could think of a few more, a couple more anyway.
Other attractions, or what else to put in test or?
Well, no, you can say anything you want anywhere you want, but I can think of a couple of others we haven't mentioned yet.
Well, and I think we've talked about this before, but I mean, Journey into Imagination has been sorely wanting for so long.
Hmm.
Blow it up
Uh,
at this point.
So, yeah, I think we've talked before that Inside Out might be, an idea there, because it deals with, the not specifically the imagination, but it talks about emotions.
Hmm.
Something else that it would really be redoing it. Now, so what is that? What world area is that within Epcot now? Is that World Nature?
Oh no, I have no idea. I get so confused
I
because
think
of all the walls that are up.
there's World Nature, World Discovery, World Celebration, and World Showcase. So I
Mhm.
think that's still World Nature over there, which, I mean,
Okay.
imagination doesn't need necessarily fit into there, but something that might would be Up.
Hmm.
Mm.
In South America, and the characters and the jungle, the Kevin, maybe some other, other things in there as well. But
Hmm. Yeah.
that really be turning it on its head a bit. But maybe that's. And I know people talk about how they miss the original Journey into Imagination, but with the evolution of what Epcot is going to be, I think maybe that's an attraction that needs to be turned on its head.
Yeah, I agree. If they returned it to the original, I would love it. But if they completely changed it, I'd love that too. But I think it's time for what's there to go, and go as fast as it can.
Yeah.
Having said that, I almost go on, and I go on it almost every time I go to Epcot. But that's besides the point.
Well, it's a nice, relaxing attraction.
It is.
It is.
It is. Anything else you guys can think of? I'd like to see them make some changes at the Living Seas.
Hmm?
I'd like to see them do things that are a little more interesting when you're going through the aquarium part of it. I don't want them to change the fish. We don't want to kill the fish off. Love the fish. But I'd just like to see it expand a little bit. So you're not just going there for Turtle Talk with Crush or going through the Nemo attraction. Add a little something else, whether it's like a 5 or 10 minute movie to watch, short, I should say, not a movie, but a short, something that'll bring in Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, whatever characters they own into it, and educate people at the same time, especially little children and adults. Anybody else have any thoughts on? Oh, not you mentioned Nine Dragons before, Lottie. Would you be opposed to turning that into a place to eat and watch a show while you're eating? Like have some kind of entertainment going on there, as long as the food is good?
As long as the food's better.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they could do that. I think it's time to get new management in there for Nine Dragons. I think it's long overdue. All right, let's move on to the final park, Magic Kingdom. Wait, Darlene, you didn't go.
And everything was taken.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Sorry.
good.
All right. Magic Kingdom. Darlene, why don't you go first here?
Excuse me, sorry. Magic Kingdom. I love Buzz Lightyear, but I think the queue could use a little bit of an update.
Yeah,
I think.
didn't
I
they
think
change the? I'm not disagreeing with you, but didn't they try to change the queue in the last year or two?
I
It
don't
didn't
think
work.
so.
I thought they did. I could be thinking of the wrong attraction. But yeah, I agree. That queue leaves a lot to be desired.
Well, half of it's outside
Hmm.
with just switchbacks.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then when you get inside,
you got more.
Yeah, more switchbacks.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. Now, what would you put there in it? Or how would you change it? Not put something in its place. How would you change that?
I would just like add more, now that they have Lightyear and it is Buzz Lightyear, add more of the story into it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, they're two different stories, though.
Well,
light. I mean, so if you've themed it after Lightyear, it would be a different story from the current Buzz, which is the toy. So
Yeah.
Lightyear is Buzz, the real space pilot, and then Toy Story Buzz with Zurg is the toy.
well,
Mhm.
maybe go through, all the way up to the end of Toy Story and bring in. So it just needs to be updated.
Yeah, yeah,
I
it
mean,
certainly.
and the actual guns and everything, those all need to be replaced too to work.
Yes, they do.
Well, and I mean, when you think about the way it is now, it's not Toy Story. It's Buzz as a toy trying to defeat Zurg.
Hmm.
So that's kind of the storyline. So would you keep that storyline, or would you turn it more towards Toy Story?
I think I'd turn it more towards Toy Story.
You know what else you could do though on the queue? The queue could take you through Lightyear and have you imagine yourself as like you're going from this character in this movie, and here you are. Now you're Buzz Lightyear. Now you become the toy, and you're
Mhm.
acting out yourself as the toy. That's another way they could go.
Mhm.
You go from the character you go from the
Right.
person into the toy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, John.
Oh, I think the big one that I have on my list is, and we've talked about this before in different lights, is Tomorrowland Speedway. It,
Yep.
I would change the theming, make it more interesting, and one of the there's two ideas that I have for theming. One is Sugar Rush, the other is another incarnation of Cars. It wouldn't be you're still kind of stuck with, I don't want to say stuck, but you're still kind of in that framework of these slow moving cars. But you could put scenery, and it could be, it wouldn't necessarily have to be super extravagant scenery, but at least, cars theme scenery. But either one of those, I would like that. And certainly making those cars not so noisy and not so gas guzzling, so whether it's an electric car or something else that's more, environmentally friendly and quieter, I think would be cool.
Well, even putting in
Yeah.
like life-size characters
Yeah.
from it in it would be perfect.
Yeah, I think,
Mhm.
either Wreck-It Ralph or Cars would give you that opportunity, like you say,
Mhm.
to bring the
Sugar
characters in,
Rush.
to improve the theming, maybe, put some music in with it as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now the theme from Sugar Rush is gonna be stuck in my head all night.
I know, right?
All right, Lottie, anything you would do there in Magic Kingdom?
Okay, Darlene, don't kill me.
I know where she's going. I know
I
where
know where
she's
she's
going.
going too.
Don't kill me, Darlene. But it's a small world. I don't want to like retheme the whole thing, but I would love to see some of the Disney characters like they've done at the one in
Oh,
California. I'd love to see that in Florida, especially some of the newer characters.
I agree.
Um, I think that would freshen it up a little bit. I mean,
Mhm.
it's been the same ride for
Mhm.
hundreds of years.
Yeah.
uh,
Stuart's not that old.
Yes, I am.
but if we could, just like maybe add Simba to the Africa section, or um um uh in India, Miss Marvel,
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
uh freshen it up a bit with
Wait,
some Disney characters, some recent ones especially.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I do too.
People um, complained and complained that
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to use other words about what happened at Disneyland, and look how tasteful it was.
It
Right.
was. It was very tasteful. I didn't
Yeah,
have a problem with it at all.
nor did I. Um, oh boy, God, you guys took almost everything I wanted here. There's still Stitch's Great Escape, which is there but closed. They've got to do
Right.
something with that.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I'm not a fan of the Stitch character. I don't know why preschoolers love Stitch as they do, but I would. I know they basically took Alien Adventure and changed it into a Stitch's Great Escape using the same theater there without making too much modifications. But I think it's time to take that all out and put something new in. Oh, and I can't think of the name. There was, what was the name of the Pixar movie? I can't. I'm just drawing a blank. Where they all had a different color associated with their emotions.
Inside Out.
Inside Out. That's it. I would put an Inside Out attraction there. How I would do that, I don't know. But I would change it to Inside Out, and show the different emotions, and make it more of a teaching experience for kids. Like what this emotion means, what that emotion means, and how to deal with it, and all come out being friends at the end. Not having a was it a hot dog burp in your face?
Ah, the chili dog.
Chili dog. That was it. Chili dog. Yeah. Any other attractions there or shows that you can think of in the Magic Kingdom that you would like to see retheme like yesterday?
I would like to see them retheme for the holidays, and not just one holiday, but multiple holidays. Space Mountain, Spaceship Earth, Space
Oh,
Mountain.
Yeah, the overlays. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
do
Yeah.
one for all the holidays.
You just reminded me of something. They're retheming Splash Mountain to a Tiana attraction.
Hmm.
right.
I want to see a Tiana attraction in Magic Kingdom. I don't know if that's the right fit for it though. I'm just not
The
sure.
location.
I think they'll do. I'm sorry, John.
I think it'll be a fun attraction but I think you're saying, the location.
The location, exactly.
It's not,
Yeah.
it's not It's not like Disneyland where they've got
Disneyland.
New Orleans Square.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's going to be. I think it's going to be a fun attraction, but maybe a little out of place.
Yep. That's
Right.
exactly where I
I'm
was going.
hoping that they're eventually going to put in like her restaurant or something.
That would be great.
Oh, could you imagine Tiana's place as a restaurant?
I
Oh,
know.
and you know what? They've got the
Bring it to
space
actual
right there,
life.
right next to Pecos Bills. I can't think, that end section there. I forgot the name of it. It does have a name. I'm forgetting a lot of things lately. I'm getting old. Oh God! But you know the place I'm talking about. It's like at the very end where Pecos
The
Bills.
pirate restaurant.
Yes, they could turn that
Tortuga
into.
Tavern.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tortuga, yeah.
Tortuga Tavern.
That would be the perfect spot for it
Mm-hmm.
because there's no place else closer to the attraction where they could put it.
Mm-mm.
Well, not without changing the landscape. So
Correct.
Tiana's place, you think about being along the Mississippi, being along the river, but they'd have to change the landscape there to put it along
Hmm.
the river.
And I don't think they're going to do that at this point in time. But you never know.
But think about it with having a steamboat out there and having Tiana's place right on the water. Oh my God!
I know that would be amazing.
Perfect.
And they could upcharge for people sitting with a view of the river.
Oh yes, they could. Don't tell you know who.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Just changing the subject very quickly. Did you guys see that they've come out with the pricing for Disney Plus and Hulu and
No.
ESPN?
Yes.
I don't know how it's going to affect all of us as original Disney Plus members.
Well, yeah. Are we going to even get any kind of break or discount, or is it
How much is it going to be? Do you know?
I think
$10.99 for Disney Plus without ads, $7.99 for Disney Plus with ads.
Mm.
And the
that's
bundle?
one. I can't do Disney Plus with ads. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
No, I forget what the bundle up. So the Disney Hulu bundle went up, and I forget what that price was.
I want to say it was 15,
$14.99.
but I could be wrong. And I think it was $12.99. I think it was $12.99 with ads, and I think it was $14.99 without ads.
And then if you threw ESPN Plus.
Yes, I think that's with the ESPN Plus.
John's looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking too.
No, well, John's looking. Did any of you guys have any other things you want to change in Magic Kingdom?
Country Bear Jamboree.
Oh,
I'm glad Kurt's not here tonight. He would have a
Country Bears. Yeah.
I think with Country Bear Jamboree, if you can't put it back to where it was originally, it's time for it to sail off in the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you put there?
I don't know.
Woody's attraction.
A what?
A Woody's attraction.
Woody, yes. Woody would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It'd have to be Woody. I can't think of anything else that's popular enough. I mean, Brother Bear. No. Yeah. Pocahontas, no.
No,
it's gotta be Woody.
They tried Pocahontas in Animal Kingdom. It had its time, and its time came and went.
I grouped Country Bears in with the Haunted Mansion and some of those other legacy, but that's me personally. I love the Country Bear attraction. I get that it's been there for a long time. It hasn't had change. I can see how it just doesn't connect with a lot of people, but I love the Country Bears.
I think at this point in time, it connects more with people that are 40 plus than it does with kids, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah. No,
it's like I would love to go back to the original full length, but at the same time, I know it's not going to get that many people going in there unless there's no place else to go and they need to kill time. It's like what 20-something parent who doesn't even remember the Country Bears is going to bring their kids in there?
Right.
I remember the Country Bears, and my kids still haven't done it yet. They walk
No
by.
interest.
Who?
Yeah.
What? As they're running to Big Thunder Mountain.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm sorry, John. You're still looking it up, right?
Oh, well, yeah, I did look some things up. So they do have a couple of legacy plans for existing subscribers,
Hmm.
and for Disney with no ads plus Hulu with ads, and it looks like you get ESPN Plus with ads, $14.99 a month. Another option for legacy for existing subscribers, you can get Hulu Plus Live TV. That includes, besides the TV, includes Hulu with ads, Disney Plus with no ads, and ESPN Plus with ads for $74.99 a month. So that would,
Did you say 74?
74
well,
a month?
well,
I didn't
that's
see
to
that
include
yesterday.
the Hulu Live TV, which YouTube TV is $75 a month, isn't it?
It's 71 and change with tax.
71
At
and
least
change.
here.
That seems very high
Well, no.
No, it's not.
because it's
Because
live
no.
TV.
It's your live TV, your local stations, and
Yeah, you're basically
Hallmark
getting
and Travel
Yeah.
Channel, and
you're basically getting Disney Plus and ESPN Plus and Hulu
for no
Live.
extra
for nothing,
for no
for
extra.
a couple of dollars.
But is
But
that going to give you local channels?
yes.
It depends on where you live, but yes.
Now you lose if you're a sports fan. You do lose some of the sports channels that you get with YouTube TV. So that could be an issue in someone's household.
Yeah.
Uh,
And so the basic live TV for Hulu Plus Live TV, the basic is Hulu with ads and Disney Plus with ads and ESPN Plus with ads for $5 less a month. So the $5 difference you're paying is to get rid of ads from Disney Plus. But still, if you were able to switch from your streaming service for live TV to Hulu Plus, and that worked for you, it might be a way to avoid additional cost in your monthly bill.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. That's something I'm going to have to take a close look at and see
Yeah, me too, baby.
what channels they offer. Because I can't, many Americans right now are suffering with the inflation the way it's been, and extra costs going forward is not something I want to do. And I think if Kurt were here, he'd probably be leading the choir.
$25 antenna. All the local channels I need.
Well, I have one in my attic. And the problem here in Florida is when you get a storm, and I get Orlando channels and Tampa channels with the antenna. When you've got a storm, it's not great, and you have storms almost every day here.
Yeah.
So it can be intermittent at times, but for the most part, the channels come in and they come in pretty clear.
And it's not just the live TV, like we said. It's lots of other things like Freeform and FX and TV Land and USA and Learning Channel, TBS, Sci-Fi, CMT, so many other. It's some of those cable type channels as well.
We gave up cable a long time ago, and we've got the antenna, we've got Disney Plus, we have Netflix, Hulu is free with our cell phones. Outside of that,
Do you have Amazon Prime too?
Oh yeah, we don't use it that much.
I know I don't use mine either.
We got rid of Netflix because we never watched it, and the only one who watched it was my daughter. So I said, if you want it, have at it. Go pay for it.
Netflix is probably on its way out here.
Pardon?
Netflix is probably on its way out over here too because we don't watch it either.
So yeah, I watch that, and I watch quite a few of the older, like we just found Seinfeld on there, so we've been watching Seinfeld
Mhm.
because Keith missed out on watching those.
See, for me, what Hulu Live TV is missing. It's missing the MLB network, and it's missing the NBA network. And there are games like, the MLB network has quite a few baseball games, and of that, a lot of them are Yankee games. So for me, that's important. The
Mhm.
NBA, I got to see a lot of Knicks games last year on NBA TV. So, and I'm not talking about the subscription. I'm talking about the free games they put up. I can't do without that. Now they do have the NFL network, and I'm not being a Jet fan. I don't watch a lot of football because they always lose.
Well, see, and would they actually be showing the games that we want to see? I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, and I want to watch a Buffalo Bills game.
hmm Now ESPN Plus intrigues me because they have the NHL games, so I would get to see a lot of Ranger games through ESPN Plus. So I could definitely see doing that. But everybody's got to see what fits their budget
Right.
and their interests. Anyway, getting back to the parks.
We've strayed a little bit.
Yeah.
Getting back to the parks. I think going through all 4 parks, there's not a whole heck of a lot that we think needs immediate attention in terms of attractions and shows. But I think there is change that has to happen sooner than later. Like Disney can spend a lot of money on new attractions because that's what brings new guests to the parks. But they've got to do a little TLC with some of the older attractions to make them, what's the word I'm looking for? Relevant.
Mhm.
And if that means changing them out, well, then you've got a new attraction to bring new guests in and old guests back. But as Kurt would say, he doesn't want to spend more money for tickets, but it's going to go up every year anyway.
Every year.
They did I don't know who did this, but someone did a study and they came up with the most expensive park in the country, and it was not Walt Disney World. It was Busch Gardens in Tampa.
Really?
Yeah, their ticket price was more. I think it was 117. I could be off by a few dollars. And Disney was 109. Now the $109, I think, is the Florida resident price. I don't believe it's the price of somebody coming in from out of state, but I could be wrong. I don't know how they came up with that figure because I know when my daughter was here and my brother was here, they had to pay $140 for a ticket for a day. That was with tax. So this might be without tax and fees. I don't know. I was surprised Universal wasn't up there. I'm sure it's up there, but I thought Universal would have been neck and neck with Disney.
Mm-mm. Those tickets are a whole lot less.
Wow. Well, I know SeaWorld is less. But, hey. We live in the age where we could see $5 gas prices and $500 Disney tickets for a day.
Oh,
Let's hope not. I think
Yeah.
Kurt would commit suicide if that happened. Yeah. So I think Disney does have some things to do, and I'm sure it's on their schedule of refurbishments somewhere down the road. But they're always doing new and great things for us, and we can't complain about anything they've done. And we'll see what happens at D23 this year. I'm really looking forward to all the announcements. I think there's going to be a bunch.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, they never disappoint. All right. Anybody have any final words before we hit the road? All right. Let's get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend. And until next time, bye-bye.
See you real soon.
We talked about Wreck-It Ralph today, so I couldn't help but share. When can I see you again? Oh. When can we do this again? So I hope we can do this again next week. See you then.
Have a magical night. Stay safe.